67 पार्टिसिपेंट्स बता रहा है यहाँ पे ज्वाइंड एक्सेल आर का। मैं तो हूँ। हितेश भी ज्वाइन हुआ क्या अभी? हितेश तो नहीं दिख रहा कहीं पे।
हाँ हुआ हुआ।
कौन ज्वाइन हुआ?
Hello everyone, a very good evening. We will start the session in another 5 minutes. Yeah, Mukesh, can you please stop sharing the screen? All right. So hello everyone. A very good evening once again. And warm welcome to the Every Learning program from ExcelR Solutions. All right. So as part of this Every Learning program, so we are conducting series of technologies. And in this series of technologies, so the first technology that we are going to offer is on data science using machine learning, a 40 hours program that we are offering for free uh, for students, faculty, and even so this will be useful for colleges as well. Right. So as part of this, as I mentioned, everyday learning program from ExcelR Solutions. So this first program is a data science program. So starting from today, And so we thank our MOU academic partners. So these are the colleges where we had MOU, and these college students so are attending, and apart from the other colleges as well. Yes, especially so these colleges, where we had the MOU. And also, if at all your college is not part of this MOU, so we would request you to so contact the email ID here, so adl@excelr.com, so that will initiate the MOU with your college. And there are a few benefits. So for the colleges where we have a MOU with. Okay, so if you are a student or a faculty member of the college where so we don't have any MOU, so we'll request you to please so contact this email ID, so adl@excelr.com. Right. So with this note, let me introduce about ExcelR Solutions, about me. So I'm Srinivas. I'm principal data scientist at ExcelR Solutions. So I have 14 plus years of experience as a statistician and as a data scientist. Right. And so coming to the ExcelR Solutions, so this company we have started so around 2014. And this has been established by alumnus of IIM and ISB. And we have our headquarters in US, Houston. And so far, we have trained 140,000 participants across the globe on various training technologies, be it data science, artificial intelligence, cloud-based programs such as Azure and AWS, so PMP, Agile, ITL, so on and so forth. We offer close to 60 plus programs, guys. Right. And so these are our industry partners. So where we have delivered a lot of trainings to these so industry partners, and a few of our academic partners. So we have partnered with so APSSDC. So this is an government entity, AP State Skills Development Corporation, and TASK. And also there are a few colleges and universities so where we have tied up with. And coming to this everyday learning program, so we call this as EDL program, is a free program. Okay, so to provide application and industry oriented learning on various technologies. Okay, so training technologies for free. Okay, and also that too from industry experts. So the training that so you are going to get so from the industry experts who have real-time experience, who have worked in the industry. So they are going to give you the in-depth knowledge about the programs that we are offering for. Okay. So the objective of this program, so the everyday learning program, is basically to give you the application oriented. When it's application oriented, so when we discuss about a theory, a concept, so how this concept can be applied to a real-time situation. So how we can solve the industry problems, a business problem using this concept. So that actually we are going to stress upon on that part. Hands-on training, okay, on the training technologies. So wherein we are also going to give you the assignments, not only the theoretical part and the conceptual part, but also we are going to give you some assignments as well. So every day you are going to get assignments, and we are going to share a drive, Google Drive, and you can solve those assignments. Right. And also we are going to help the colleges in fulfilling few of the NAC and NBA requirements. So that we'll discuss separately with the faculty members. So as part of this, we are going to give you the training, okay, assignments. Okay, so every day we are going to give you the assignments as well. And also, so to the colleges, so where we have tie-up with, for those colleges, we are going to offer the college students, we are going to offer projects and internships. Okay, and then we are going to give them the LMS access and a lot of industry webinars and FDPs, faculty-run programs we are going to conduct. Okay, so all these, so in these programs, so the MOU, okay, college students will get a chance to participate in this, right? And so they are going to get the LMS access and also the projects internship, and then assignments, assessments. So all these things, so you can get for free. Okay, we're not charging for anything for this. So we're giving, as part of giving back to the society, we are offering all these things. All right. So as I mentioned, so we are going to conduct the trainings on so various topics like data science and AngularJS, React.js, Advanced Excel, Java, all these things. So you're going to get notification the information about these programs, when are we going to conduct all these things, timings and the registrations. So you will get on timely manner. So once this program is over, then next program will be conducted. So all these things, so you'll get the communication. So for that, if at all, if you have not registered, so please do register. So there is a registration link, Mukesh. So if you can post that registration link, so probably they'll register again and they'll get the communication about this. All right. And so people who are a part of the MOU signed colleges, right? So they will get the LMS access. So this LMS access, see, once we conduct this program, right? So you can also view the recordings. All these sessions are going to be recorded. And if at all, for example, so you want to view these, the course, again, course content. So even after 1 month or 2 months, still you can come back to our LMS and you can view these recordings. Okay, right. All right. So these are the few things that I would like to discuss as part of this introductory to this EDL session. Now I'll hand over it to the trainer, Moonmoon. So she will so walk you through all these concepts for the next 20 days, that is 40 hours. Okay. So I wish you all the best. So in your learning journey, and I hope you can you will be part of all the programs that we're going to conduct even in future as well. Right. Moonmoon,
Yeah.
you're there?
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Yeah, well, yeah, you can.
Thank you for the introductory part, Srinivas, sir. Now, myself, Moonmoon, I'm working with ExcelR since last 4+ years as a lead data scientist, and partially I'm taking sessions for training the professionals and freshers also, right? So I'm going to be mentoring you throughout this 20 days session. And I have completed my graduation in computer science field, post graduation in MBA, and currently I'm pursuing PhD in data science field, right? In total, I have experience of near about 9+ years. So let's start with the sessions. Yeah. So, guys, we are going to start with introduction to R, then we'll see introduction to Python, and then we'll start with the basic statistics parts. Okay. Okay, before we start, guys, I have one announcement to make. Okay, first of all, stop writing down on the screen. Right, we are going to be working professionals, or maybe few of you are already working also, right? So don't do these things, right? Don't write anything on the screen. My God. Mukesh,
Yes, Moonmoon.
yeah, can you help me out with this?
Definitely. Just give me 2 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Moonmoon, can you go to view options? Just stop sharing the screen, otherwise. Moonmoon, after sharing the screen,
Yes, sir.
go to view options. Then there would be option disable participant annotation. Go to view options.
I'm not getting a view option.
No, above, you'll see that, right?
Moonmoon, can you see the more option in the above?
More.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to click.
Yeah, more means you can find.
But disable annotation from others.
Yes, yeah, do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I have done that. Okay,
Then
thank you.
clear
Thank
the
you for guiding me.
Go ahead.
Yeah. We have an announcement, guys. Mukesh, have you shared that presentation with me?
Yes, yes. I have sent you. Please check on the WhatsApp.
Okay, on WhatsApp. Just a moment. Yeah. So here is one note, like those who have received their e-learning platform credentials, they need to log in from there, and on a daily basis, they need to join through the e-learning platform. Those who have not received the credentials, they need to log in, and you need to click on forgot password, right? So you need to log in through your registered email ID, and then you need to click on forgot password. After that, you will get a link on your email ID to reset the password. You need to reset that password, and on a daily basis, again, you need to join through LMS, and then you can attend the sessions. Now, once you reset this particular password, all of you will get one form to be filled for about details about yourself, right? Like name, what do you do, like whether you are a student or working professional, and some other details regarding your academics. So you need to fill out those details, and then only you will be able to join the sessions on a daily basis, right? So I'll repeat. Those who have received the credentials, they need to log in through their credentials on the e-learning platform to join the session, and you need to reset your permanent password. Those who have not received the credentials, you need to log in through your registered email ID. You need to reset the password. So for that, you need to click on forgot password. On your registered email ID, you will get one link to reset the password, and then repeat the same procedure. And once you log in, you need to fill out the details, and after that, you can join the sessions on a daily basis, right? So that is the note for all of you. You can read the same thing over here on the screen mentioned over here, right? So that was the announcement. Yeah. Now let's start with our introduction part of R. So when we learn this data science, we are mostly going to focus on two languages. First one is Python and second is the R. Out of which R is specifically used as a statistical language for performing statistical operations. So let's understand about this R. So there are types of statistical softwares available. Few are command line softwares in which you require the knowledge of coding. You require the knowledge of syntax about it. You can store that syntax and you can reproduce the results. Command line softwares. Another type of software, we have GUI based softwares. So in that case, you don't require any knowledge regarding commands or the syntax of that language, right? It's more sort of like icons will be provided on the screen. You can drag and drop, or you can click on those icons and your task can be performed. So that becomes your graphical user interface based softwares. And there is a third type, that is hybrid type of softwares, both command line and GUI. So this R is a hybrid type of statistical software. Similar to that R, there are few other statistical softwares in the market like SAS, SPSS, Minitab, Stata, and so on. But with this R, you can work more. Like even you can build the models. Apart from analyzing your data statistically, you can even build the models for performing tasks like clustering, like classification, like regression. So that is why this R is more famous nowadays. R is freely available, so it is an open source tool. The language used for R is almost similar as S. It is maintained by top quality experts, available for all the platforms. So this R is platform independent, and still the continuous improvement is going on in this R. Now, where you can get this? So I'll just take you through the steps. After the session, you can watch this session on the YouTube, and you can, perform the same steps to get the R for your practice purpose. So here, I am going to go to the same website, www.r-project.org. So in the browser, you just need to search for that particular website, official website of R, and you will get this website over here, right? It says like R is free software environment for statistical computing and graphics. It compiles and runs on the wide variety of Unix platform, Windows and Mac OS platforms. So we know these are the names of different operating systems available, right? So here we have to download R. So we need to click on this particular download R, and we are redirected to the page which is called as CRAN mirrors. Now what we mean by CRAN mirrors? So the inventors here, the inventors Ross and Robert, they were doing their research project into Department of Statistics, University of Auckland, New Zealand. So as a research project, they have created this R. Okay. Now initially there was only one R server, which was placed in University of Auckland, New Zealand. And after like other researchers have liked it, they asked Ross and Robert to make it commercialized tool, right? So after commercialization, what happened? Most of the organizations and individuals all over the world started accessing this particular R server. And because of that, R server started feeling a load. So just as a load balancing technique, what Ross and Robert did, they have created multiple CRAN mirror servers. They have created multiple CRAN mirror servers. Now these mirror servers are located all over the world in the different locations, right? Geographical locations. Now why they are considered as mirror servers? So as soon as you make any updates to this mirror server, CRAN server, same will be updated to the main R server. Or if you make any updations with the main R server, everything will be reflected to the CRAN mirror servers. CRAN stands for Comprehensive R Archive Network. Now let's understand how we can choose that CRAN mirror server over here. So here on this page, it says CRAN Comprehensive R Archive Network is available at the following URLs, and we need to choose the location close to us. So if we all are belonging to India, so if you can scroll down, you will see different countries have been mentioned over here, like Denmark, we have Czech Republic, then we have Germany, we have Greece, then we have Switzerland, South Africa, New Zealand, Norway, UK, USA, Indonesia, Greece, everything is mentioned. Here, we'll have an hyperlink for India CRAN mirror server also. So if you are belonging to India, you should click on this particular hyperlink, or otherwise you can find out your closest location and accordingly you can click on that link. What if you don't find your closest location? In that case, you can click on this zero cloud. So this zero cloud will automatically redirect you to the closest mirror server, right? Suppose I'll click on this link for India. Here. So there is some problem with that link. So I'll just better click on this zero cloud link over here. So once you click on that zero cloud, right, you will be redirected to the closest mirror server. And now you will get three options according to the operating system. Like you can download it for Linux or for Mac OS or for Windows operating system users. Now, most of us are using the Windows operating system users. So you need to click on download R for Windows. So I'll click on it. Then here I have, this is what we want to download or install R for the first time. So I'll click on this install R for the first time. And then we have this downloadable file, the latest version of R to be downloaded from this year. So download R 4.1.2 for Windows. So as soon as I'll click on it, it starts downloading. I'll just cancel it because I already have it. So as soon as you click on this file, it will start downloading for you. Now, once it is downloaded, the way you install any other software on your machine, same way you need to run it as an administrator and you need to click on next, next, next. You don't need to make any changes, keep the default settings and that R will be installed for you, right? What if you have Mac OS operating system user, right? So you need to click on this download R for Mac OS. Yes, Aryan, you can consider it as an programming language, but mostly used for statistical operations. So here also you need to write down the code. Okay. So I was talking about macOS operating system users. We have clicked on download R for macOS. Now on this page, according to the operating system version you are using, you can either download this particular file or you can download this particular file. As soon as you click on this, it will start downloading. Again, repeat the same procedure. The way you install any other software on your macOS operating systems, same way you need to install this R. Now we cannot directly deal with the R. Okay. We cannot directly deal with the R over here because their API is differently written and we don't know that language. Otherwise, we need to learn that language also to write down the code with their API. So what we'll do, we will use R Studio to use the functionalities provided by R servers. So again, we need to download R Studio. Right? We need to download R Studio. Now for downloading R Studio, you go to the browser and you simply search for download R Studio. Until and unless you have installed R, you cannot install R Studio. You will require R to be installed first, and then you can install the R Studio. So the very first website over here, www.rstudio.com, we'll click on it. And you scroll down on the same page until and unless you get this all installers mentioned over here. So you need to scroll down on the same page. You will get all installers. According to the different operating systems, you have the downloadable files mentioned over here. So again, as if you are Windows operating system user, you need to click on this file. I'll show you. If I click on this file, it starts downloading. It starts downloading. And again, repeat the procedure. You need to install that by keeping the default settings. Okay. Same way with Mac operating system users and other operating systems, you can download the respective file and install RStudio. Okay. So Rohit is asking like if we have only phones, then can't we do this on the phone? No, Rohit, you cannot perform this on the phone, right? You will require high configured laptop, then only, or desktop, then only you can use this particular languages. These tools, those are not be able to download or install on your phones. Yeah. Now, once you install it successfully, how we'll come to know that it has been installed successfully or not? Sahajep is asking like, can we do it on Anaconda? Yes, on Anaconda also you will get a tool or ID for our studio, you can use there also. Okay. So now here, once you have installed this R Studio, you can search for that into the start button, right? R Studio, and I'll click on it. Yeah. So we have this R Studio over here. Initially, when you will open this, right, you will get these 3 frames to view. Yeah, any Windows operating system you can use. Only for Windows 7 and Windows 8, there is a problem, but higher versions, you can install it. Gaurav is asking, like, can we do it on Jupyter Lab? Jupyter Lab will not be able to do for our Jupyter Notebook we'll use for Python. Yeah. No, Visual Studio is slightly different than this. This is differently used for statistical operations. You can use PyCharm when you want to write down a code with Python. Okay. Yes, you can use VS Code also. There is no problem. MATLAB cannot be used. MATLAB is only used for visualizing the data, or mostly it is used in graphics or animation. R will not work properly on your Windows 7 or Windows 8. Okay. Yeah, all these things we will discuss, right? Like, I want you guys to focus more on this part, like which I'm teaching right now, right? This difference between Python and R, difference between all these things, what we mean by statistical operations, all these things we are going to learn. Jupyter Notebook you cannot use to execute the R code. No, here we are going to run this course based upon Python mostly, right? So we are not going to use Visual Studio codes, or even we are not going to use any other IDE also. We are mostly going to focus on Jupyter Notebook. Yeah, that will be better, Rohit. Okay, fine. Let's move ahead, right? So you can use the Windows operating system 10 or more than that, right? 8 GB RAM. If SSD is provided, that will be better. That is the minimum configuration required for RStudio and Python. Yeah. So these 3 frameworks you will be getting when you will open the RStudio. Here we have a console. On this console, you are going to be able to see the output calculated. you will have the global environment over here. So as soon as you create a variable, you will be able to see that variable displayed over here along with its value. And few tabs mentioned over here like files, plots. So under this plots tab, you'll be able to see the graphs created. Packages tab, you will be able to see the packages supported by the RStudio. Help tab, you will be able to get the help required for any other functionalities. So let's understand it one by one. Now here, somewhere we need to write down the code. So we will require an editor. We'll require an editor to write down the code. So we can open the editor by pressing Control plus Shift plus N. So when you press Control plus Shift plus N, editor will be opened for you. Let me show you. So I'll open the editor now. So this is our editor. Right. This is the editor. Here we can write down the code. We can save that code and we can reuse that particular code. Okay. So now here we can write down the code. So we'll start with understanding how this R will be used, right? There are so many questions in the chat box also, like how this R is used, why we are going to use it. First of all, the very basic use of R as an calculator. Obviously, nobody will use it as an calculator by installing it and everything, right? But still, you can perform any mathematical operation using R. For example, if I perform 2 plus 2, right? Now I have written this code. I want to execute it. Now you want to execute a line in R. You can press Control plus Enter on the keyboard. So you need to keep the cursor on the line which you want to execute, and then you can press Control plus Enter. So we are getting the output calculated on this console, right? So blue colored one is showing you the input line. This angular bracket over here, we call it as an prompt. As soon as we get this prompt, that means the previous line have been executed successfully and we are getting the result displayed over here, that is equals to 4. Same way we can perform all other operations also. For example, 10 minus 4, I'll execute Control plus Enter. I'm getting the result on the console. Now suppose I want to store it to some variable. Now, first of all, what we mean by variable? So, variable value can keep on changing, but the name given for that variable is going to be same. So, you can access a particular value with the help of its variable name. For example, here I can use a variable named as A and I can assign some value to this variable. So I'm going to use an assignment operator as equals to something. And here I can assign a value as equals to 10, for example. Okay. So I'm creating a variable over here named as A, and I'm passing a value as equals to 10 to this. I will execute this, Control plus Enter. Now, this variable have been created and we can get a prompt over here. Along with that, you can see a variable have been displayed under the global environment. So this is a variable and this is the value assigned to that variable. Now, for assigning a value, there can be different assignment operators used. Like even we can use this as an assignment operator, less than sign and minus sign. So this is also an assignment operator for the R. So we are creating a new variable B. There I'm assigning some value as equals to 4, or I'll assign as equals to 6. Okay. Control plus Enter. As soon as I have executed that line, I'm getting a variable and its value displayed over here. So that is about your creating a variable. Now, when you create this variable names, there are few valid variable names and invalid variable names. So your variable must consist of character, or it should consist of digits, or it should have underscore, or it can have dot. Always your variable name will start with a character later. It should not start with digit or underscore or dot or any other special character. It should always start with the character value over here. Now we can see, let's create a variable name as abc underscore 2 dot x. There's some name I have given, right? Starting with a character, followed by underscore and digit and dot, and again followed by a character. And here I am going to give some value to it. So I'll assign 100 to this variable abc underscore 2 dot x. I will execute control plus enter, and we are getting that variable mentioned over here. Right, that variable have been created over here. Suppose I use invalid variable name. For example, I start a variable with digit as 1, and I'll mention the variable name as abc, and I will try to assign some value as equals to 20. So here I'll try to execute this control plus enter. And I'm getting an error that unexpected symbol in one ABC. Right, I'm getting an error over here that it is having unexpected symbol 1 ABC. Now, same way if I try for any other variable name starting with underscore, and I'll give the name as ABC, and I will assign some value as equals to 20. And I will execute it control plus enter. And again, I am getting an error over here, unexpected input in underscore. So that means we cannot start this variable name with a special character, with a digit, with underscore, or with dot. We should always start it with the character followed by underscore or dot or digits over. So that's what we have studied so far. After that, we are going to talk about how we can create the data structures. So if anybody asks you what are the data structures supported by R, so we can mention like it is supporting vector, list, matrix, array, and data frame. These are the data structures. Now initially, here we are storing single value into a variable. We are storing a single value to a variable. Now, what if we want to store multiple values into a same variable? Then we need to use the data structures, right? We need to use data structures. So first data structure we are going to study, and that is nothing but a vector. So vector is created with the help of a syntax called as C in bracket. So here I'll create one vector named as X, and I will use this C notation in bracket. I'll pass the elements of that vector whatever I want. So suppose I want to store it as 10, 2, 20, and 4. These are the 4 values which I want to store to a vector called as X. No, Soumya is asking like this command is going to print which value. It is not going to print anything because it is giving you an error. We have started a variable with underscore. So this has not been executed. So it will not print anything. Okay. And if you talk about this particular command, in that case also nothing will be printed on the console because we are just creating a variable. We are not displaying a value. So this variable have been created and you can see it over here. Right? Okay. So, Soumya, like if there will not be an underscore, it will be a ABC variable. Again, it will not display any value. It will just display that this line has been executed successfully. Yeah. So we are trying for creating a vector over here. So for creating a vector, we are using this C. C stands for combination of values. C stands for combination of values. So these elements we are combining and storing it to a variable called as X. I'll execute this by pressing Ctrl plus Enter. You can see we are not getting anything displayed on the console because we are just assigning a values to a variable, and that variable we are getting created over here. So it is a numeric vector whose 4 elements are there, and the value of elements as 10, 2, 20, and 4. Right? After that, you can apply some slicing operations. So if you want to extract a particular value from this particular vector, so how we can extract that? So if you want to display all the values, you mention that variable name. That's it. So X is the variable name which I want to display. So I'll consider X variable over here and I will press Ctrl plus Enter. So I'm getting all the values of that variable displayed over here. From that X variable, we are getting this to be displayed over here. After that, if I want to extract this particular element, suppose I want to display only 20. So I can apply the syntax as variable name, that is X, in square bracket. You need to pass the index of that element which you want to display. Suppose the index over here is going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now if I want to display 20, I'll mention the index as equals to 3. Right? And then execute Control plus Enter. So on the console, you can see we have only displayed 20 over here. We have displayed 20 over here. Now, the difference between your other languages like C, C++, Java language, right? And the language used by this R. If you remember here, nowhere we have mentioned that we are defining a value which is integer. We are defining a value which is character. We are directly using the value, and that R is itself smart enough to identify what is the data type of that particular data. Right? So that is the main difference. Here we are nowhere defining whether it is numeric, whether it is Boolean, whether it is complex number or floating point value. It is itself considering the data types for those values over here. So that is about slicing operation, right, for your vector. The most useful data frame or the data structure which we are going to deal with is nothing but the data frame. Now let's talk about data frame, what it is. So it's a most common way to store the data. Now in a vector, in matrix, in array, you can only store the data of the same data type. Like all the values can be numeric, or all the values will be character values, or all the values will be Boolean values. But when you want to store a data which is of different data types, we can go for heterogeneous data structure. And in that we can use this data frame, which is two-dimensional heterogeneous data structure. Right? How we can build a particular data frame? So we can use a keyword called as data.frame into this R for creating a data frame. Now let's create one data frame over here. So I'll give a name to that data frame as df. And I'll use data dot. See, as soon as we start typing, it will start giving you the recommendation also. Like out of this, we are interested in creating a data frame. And in this yellow colored box, you can get the syntax. You can get the help about that particular keyword. So here I want to create a data frame. Now data frame is a table-like structure. Table-like structure, which is your structured data. And table is consisting of rows and columns. It is consisting of rows and columns. So while you define your data frame, you need to mention the column name, Suppose the first column name I'll consider as X. And then we need to pass few values for that X variable. So we want 3 values inside that X column. So 3 values, how can I store? I can use combination of values, that vector concept. Vector concept we can use for creating this data frame over here. So combination of values, I want the value as 1, 2, and 3. After that, I'll give comma, and I want another column titled as Y, and again, I'll assign some value to it. So this time again, I want 3 values to be assigned under the Y column by using combination of value concept. And this time, these values, combination of values are going to be character type. So character values are always mentioned inside single quotes or double quotes. So I'll mention first name to be A. I'll give the second value to be B, and I will give the next value as a C. I have mentioned these 3 values, and I will execute this control plus enter. Now you can see df named variable have been created, in which there are 3 observations and there are 2 variables. Now, whenever you discuss about data, right, observations, entries, records are nothing but the rows of your data set, are the rows in your data set. And when you say variables, or you say parameters, or you say attributes, or you say dimensions, all are nothing but the columns of your data set. All are nothing but the columns of your data set. One question is there, data frame store only integer values? No, here we have stored integer and character values. So all the type of values can be stored in your data frame. Even we can data also. Okay. That is why it is considered as an heterogeneous. Heterogeneous means different data type data we can store in a data frame. Okay. So let's coming back to the dimensions of your data set, data frame. Observation, entries, records are the rows. Variable, parameters, attributes, dimensions, columns are nothing but the columns of your data frame. Now, if you want to display what we have generated over here, you can just write down the name of that variable in which you have stored it. So I'll write down the name as df, and then I will apply control plus enter. This is what we have created. We have created 2 columns named as X and Y. For the X column, we have given these 3 values 1, 2, 3. And for Y column, we have given 3 values as A, B, C. And this is the by default index mentioned over here. 1, 2, 3 is the by default index mentioned over here. Or if you want to display this in a tabular format, exact tabular format, you can click on this name of the variable df. Right? You can click on this variable df over here. So if I'll click on it, a new tab have been opened with the same name of the file, right? Df is the variable name, so df is the name over here for this tab, and we are getting whatever we have created. So there are, it is mentioned over here, it is showing you 1, 2, 3 entries out of 3 entries. That means 3 rows and 2 columns are there. X and Y, 2 columns are there. So that is how we can create a small data frame. Now on this data frame also, we are going to perform the slicing operation. Like if we want to extract a particular element from that particular data frame, right? So we can apply slicing operation. Here the same data frame we have created. And we have these questions to be solved. Like if you want to print only one, right? If you want to print 1 and A, what command will be written? If you want to print A and C, what command can be written? So let's understand solving these questions now. So here if we want to print 1, we want to print 1 over here. As this is a two-dimensional data, right? We have to mention the index for row, comma, index for the column. So I'll write down the name of data frame, that is DF, in square bracket. Always first you need to mention row index followed by column index, followed by column index. So here as I want to display this 1, what is the row index? 1 belongs to first row. So I'll mention 1 over here, comma. In which column 1 belongs? 1 belongs to the first column, X column over here, first column over here. So I'll mention 1. Here I have mentioned 1, comma 1. 1 for the row and another one is for the column index. And I will execute it, control plus enter. And now we are getting the result. Only 1 have been displayed over here. Because they have mentioned row index and the column index over here, right? Same way, if I want to display B value or I want to display this C value, right? So I can write down it like DF is the data set name in square bracket row index. So in which row C belongs to? Third row. In which column C belongs to? Second column. So 3 comma 2 is the index I have passed over here. Again, I'll execute and I'm getting the value C displayed over here. We wanted to display that C, so C has been displayed over here. Right? So this is how by passing the index of your row and column, you can perform slicing operations on your data frame. Okay. Clear so far? The basic part about your data frames, data types we are using, and how to perform the slicing operations. Okay. Okay. So it's almost 7:10 in the clock. Well, let's consider a break for 10 minutes and we'll reconnect by 7:15. So break till 7:15. Okay, let's resume, guys. There is one question. I'll take up that question. Like somebody asked, like how to extract multiple values over here. For example, we want to display 1 and a. Suppose we want to display 1 and a. So the command will be like df in square bracket. You need to pass the index value. Now this 1 and a both are belonging to the same row. So I'll mention 1 for the row, comma. I want to display the columns. Now this 1 is belonging to first column, A is belonging to second column. So I can write it down as combination of value and then the index. So then multiple values I can pass over here for the index. So this one is for the row index. Combination of value 1 comma 2 is for the first and second column. And if I'll execute this, I am getting the values displayed as 1 and a. Right. So just by using a vector concept while mentioning the indexes over here, you can write down multiple index and you can display the multiple values. Okay. Now let's get started with the basic statistics part. Like before, sometimes few participants were asking me like why this is used for, R is used for. Are we going to use it for calculating like basic calculations? No, we are going to deal with the data frame. We are going to perform the statistical operations. So for that, we will first revise what are the statistical operations. Okay. So when we talk about performing statistical analysis on the data, that means collecting, classifying, summarizing, analyzing, and interpreting the numerical information. Now, there are two types of statistical operations. First one is descriptive statistics and second one is inferential statistics. Now, whenever you perform descriptive statistics, you deal with the population data. Population data is nothing but all the records, all the rows from your data set. Right? Population parameter is denoted by capital N. So it's a hypothetical set of N observations from which the sample is obtained. And sample data is what? It is always in a less amount of number of records as compared to population. Sample is denoted by small n. Sample is derived from the population data. So you can consider this set diagram or Venn diagram over here. Like you have entire population, out of which when you select few records, those are considered as the sample records. And on both population and sample, you can perform the statistical operations like you can calculate mean for the population, variance, standard deviation, proportion, all these things you can calculate on your population as well as sample data. For example, if you have a population size as equals to 1000, sample will always be less in amount. So from these 1000 records, if you are randomly selecting any 200 records, these 200 records are nothing but the sample of that data. Whenever you perform statistical operation on the population, it is generally denoted with the Greek alphabets like mu, sigma, rho for the proportion, right? And when you apply it on your sample data, it is generally denoted as the capital English letters. Like sample mean is denoted by X bar, sample variance is S square, sample standard deviation is S, and so on. Now let's understand these concepts: mean, variance, standard deviation. So as I said, there are two types of statistical operations. First one is descriptive statistics, in which you are going to utilize the numerical and graphical methods to look for the patterns in your data, to summarize the information, to reveal the patterns in the data, to present the information in a convenient format, and so on, right? So the main goal of descriptive statistics is to describe the data. And that description can be done with the help of numeric measures like calculating mean, standard deviation, and so on. Or you can also use graphical displays, like you can create a bar chart, pie chart, you can create donut chart, you can create line chart likewise. Next, we have inferential statistics. So inferential statistics, you will be utilizing the sample data to make the estimates, decisions, predictions, and other generalizations about the population data, about the large set of data set. So you extract the sample, you apply the operations on that sample data, and similar conclusion you are going to make for the population data. Right? Now, we have two major data types in data science. First one is a continuous data and second one is the discrete data. Now, what we mean by continuous and discrete data? Okay, there is one question in the chat window, like why we need to calculate mean, standard deviation and all, just to understand that data. Okay, where is the center of that data? And to answer few basic questions about your data set, to understand that data, we need to perform the statistical operations. We need to calculate mean, standard deviation, variance and all. Okay, coming back to the data types. So we have continuous data and discrete data. Whenever you represent any value with the help of decimal point representation and it is making sense, we call it a continuous data. For example, if I ask you how much is the balance in your bank account, right? So if you say that I have 1000 rupees and 27 paisa. So you can represent this value with the help of fractional representation, decimal point representation, and it is making sense. This much amount can be there in a bank account. So it is considered as an continuous data. Same way, if I ask you what is your weight, if you say that your weight is equals to 61.79. So 61 kg is 79 grams. This is also making sense. So you can say weight is a continuous data. So whenever any entity represented by the fractional representation and it is making sense, it is considered as a continuous data type. Now what we mean by discrete data type. So if you use decimal representation or fractional representation, and if it is not making sense, you can consider it is a discrete data type. For example, if I ask you how many laptops do you have? So either you will have 0 laptop if you don't have it, you will have 1 laptop if you have it. You can also mention that I have 100 laptops. Maybe you are owning a showroom for laptops, right? You are selling the laptops. So all these values are making sense. But if I say that how many laptops do you have? If I say that I have 10.73 laptops, this is not going to make sense. So if decimal representation is not sense, that this entity is a discrete data. Same goes with how many vehicles do you have, how many family members you have in your family, right? So these type of examples you can consider as a discrete data type. Now here we are going to learn about calculating measures of central tendency. Under this measures of central tendency, we are going to calculate mean value, median value, and mode of the data. Now, why we need to calculate it? Suppose I ask you a question regarding your business or regarding your data, that what is the average salary paid to the employees, right? What is the average profit? What is the average time taken to complete a particular project? So such type of questions, if I just provide you a data set and I ask you a question, you cannot answer this question. You need to perform some operation. You need to calculate the average. You need to calculate the mean for that data, and then you can calculate these values, right? Vaishnavi is saying that does it mean that countable data is called continuous? Discrete also is an countable data. Okay, discrete values are also countable data, but those cannot be calculated or counted with the help of fractional representation. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I think there is some confusion about your continuous and discrete. I'll just repeat it once again. Right. Let's consider this data set. I have one data set to show you. Show that data set. So I have this data set regarding the vehicle, four-wheeler. Okay. So for that four-wheeler, we have miles per gallon, that is average. We have cylinder value. We have display of that vehicle, right? Then we have horsepower, that is engine speed or something like that, right? Weight of that vehicle and gear of that vehicle, and so many columns are available, right? For the time being, just consider these two columns, my MPG and cylinder. Okay. For example, if we concentrate on this first column, that is miles per gallon, which is an average. Now, if I ask you what is the average given by your vehicle, right? How much is the average given by your vehicle? So you can say like it is 18.1 also, right? It can be 21 also. It can be 14.7 also, depending upon the condition of that vehicle, right? And this value is making sense. There can be a variable which can be represented with the help of fractional representation. This becomes your continuous data. So miles per gallon is a continuous column. Same way, if we talk about, suppose this column gear. Now we know in four-wheelers we have the gear like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and reverse gear, something like this, right? Here we have the gear values mentioned as gear equals to 4 or gear equals to 3, or in some case gear is equals to 5 is also mentioned, right? Can I mention gear is equals to 1.3 over here? No, this cannot make sense. Either the gear value will be equals to 1 or it is going to be equals to 3. So you cannot use fractional representation to represent this value. So this is considered as a discrete data. Even your discrete data can have categorical values also. Like here, continuous values are always numeric. Discrete values can be numeric or it can be categorical also. It can be categorical also. For example, if I say gender, so gender are a few values are there, right? You cannot mention gender is equals to 1.98. Either you will mention gender is equals to male, or you will mention gender equals to female, or you will mention gender is equals to other. And that male, female, and other, we can also represent in a numeric format, like male is equivalent to 0, or female is equivalent to 1, or other is equivalent to 2. So that is how discrete values can be numeric or it can be non-numeric categorical, depending upon whether it can take a fractional representation or not. You can identify whether the data is continuous or it is discrete. So, Nivesh, I think you got the answer for your question now, right? Nivesh is saying like, can we consider non-categorical values as a discrete data? It's not the case, right? Even the numeric values can be categorical. Non-numeric can also be, numeric values can be discrete. Non-numeric values can also be a discrete values over here. Now, is this part clear about continuous and discrete data? Okay. Okay. Now let's understand calculating this mean. So whenever you have a question with respect to average, okay, before that, one announcement in the chat window, Mukesh have shared one attendance link, right? So you just register yourself, mark your attendance over there, right? Fine. So as we were talking about average, right, or a mean. So whenever there is a question regarding average, we can use these measures of central tendency, which are also called as first moment business decision. So we know how to calculate an average. When it is calculated for population, it is denoted by mu and it is called as mean. When it is calculated for sample, it is denoted by capital X bar and it is considered as an average. So let's understand. We have one data set over here. Suppose this A data set A, we have it over here, right? And we want to calculate the average over here. So in Excel, I can use a function called as average. I can select the data for which I want to calculate the average and I'll get the average calculated. What was the formula mentioned in the presentation? It was summation of xi divided by n, where xi is nothing but each and every data point. So in this data set A, x1 is 1, x2 is 2, x3 is 3, x4 is 4, and x5 is equals to 5. When we take the summation of all these, that becomes your numerator divided by number of records. So in our data, we have 5 records available. So we'll divide by 5. So we are getting the average or a mean as equals to 3 calculated over here, right? Now, sometimes this mean is influenced by the outliers. Now, let's consider our another data set B. Suppose we have this data set B, in which all the 4 elements are similar as of your data set A. Only one data point I have changed to 700. So 5 I have changed to 700. And now if I try to calculate the average, that is equals to 142. Right? That is equals to 142. Now, what do you think, like why we are getting such a high difference in this mean calculated? Because of this one point. Because of this 700, our mean have been influenced over here. So if mean is getting influenced by this record, this is called as an outlier. You can also consider as a noisy data point in your data set. Outlier will always have the value which is too large or too small as compared to rest of the data points. Like here, all these values are too small as compared to this 700 and 700 is too large value, right? So this is considered as an outlier. Now, if the mean is getting influenced by outlier, we can calculate median of that data. We can calculate median of the data. Now, how the median is calculated? So median is middle value of the data. Let's consider. We have a data set C, for example, in which we have values as 1, 2, 700, 3, and 4. What do you think? What can be the median value? The middle value? So if you are saying 3, if you are saying 700, let's see. So I'll just apply a function over here, median function, and I'll select the data. And I have the median as equals to 3. This means that first, the data will be sorted into the order, right? It will be sorted. And after that, it will check what is the middle value. And then again, if I apply median function, I am getting the median as equals to 3. So always your data will be sorted. And after that, the middle value will be identified as the median. Exactly. Nivesh is saying that data will be arranged and then the middle value will be considered. Exactly. Now, what if here we had odd number of records, so we had identified the middle value as the median. What if we have even number of records like this, like data set D? We have even number of records, and here if I try to apply median, I'll use the median function. I'll select the data and I'll get the median as equals to 4.5. So what it have done, it have first sorted the data into the order. Here I have the sorted data. Then it will consider the two middle values. So 4 and 5 are the two middle values. For that 4 and 5, the average will be calculated and that becomes the median over here. So again, if I try to display median for this sorted data, which is equals to 4.5, which is equals to 4.5, right? We have not shifted to Excel, Zahid. Okay, I'm just explaining you the basic concept, theoretical concept using Excel. Same things we are going to see with the help of R also, right? But if I directly start it with the R, you will get confused. So first we'll understand the theoretical concept and then we'll understand with the help of language. Yeah. So in your chat window, again, attendance link have been shared. So all the Zoom participants and YouTube participants, mark your attendance by using that form. Okay. So we were considering median value because outliers are going to affect the mean value. So we can calculate the median. So we have talked about calculating median if odd number of records are there. So middle value will be the median calculated for odd number of records. For even number of records, two middle values will be considered and their average is going to be the median calculated, right? And median will not be influenced by the outliers. There is no effect of this 700 while calculating the median, right? Okay. Now, mean and median can be calculated if your data is numeric. What if your data is non-numeric? And then if I average, for example, for today's session, if I ask you overall, how was the session, right? If I want to answer this question to my manager, am I going to count what each and every person have reviewed about the session? No, that's not possible. So what I'll do, again, I'll calculate the middle value of it, right? So middle in the sense, I'm going to calculate the mode of that data. So let's consider data set E. If we consider data set E, here I have given the review. Right? I have given the review as good or poor. Right? Now, on the basis of this, if I want to calculate mode, mode is nothing but most occurred value. Good have occurred 3 number of times. Poor have occurred only 2 number of times. So, mode of this data is going to be good. Mode of the data is going to be good. So when there is only one mode for your data, that is called as unimodal data because there is only one mode. There is only one mode over here. Same way, if we have the data as data set F, something like this, we have good occurred 3 number of times and we have poor occurred 3 number of times. So both the values have occurred equal number of times. So the mode of your data will be both good and poor. And such type of data is called as bimodal data. Bi means two. This data is having two modes, so it is called as an bimodal data. Right? And then suppose you have few more values over here like neutral. And same thing is repeated over here, neutral, right? Now in this data set F, good have occurred 3 number of times, poor have occurred 3 number of times, even neutral have occurred 3 number of times. So mode of your data will be good, poor and neutral, all the three. Such type of data is called as multimodal data. Such data is called as a multimodal data. So These things are going to give you the basic idea about where the center of your data lies. Okay, like in this particular case, when we had 5 values, rather than considering them as a 5 value, if I ask you something in terms of average, you can straight away calculate mean, or you can calculate the median, or you can calculate mode of that data, and you can answer that question, right? Only once you need to fill the attendance, guys. By using that link, only once you need to fill the attendance. Now, there is one question from Arbina Sheikh that what we mean by outlier. So, outlier is the record which is having a value which is too large or too small as compared to rest of the data points. Like suppose if I consider age of the participants. Here, if I consider age of participants, and I have few values over here, like age as equals to 27, age is 31, age is 25, age is 27, age is 28, age is 29, age is equals to 2, age is equals to I consider as 37, age equals to 47, 48, age is equals to 100, and so on. How can it be? How can participants' age be 2? This value is too small as compared to rest of the data points. So this becomes an outlier. Same way, how can the participant's age be equals to 100 years? Again, this value is too large as compared to rest of the data points, so it can be considered as an outliers. So outliers always influence the mean value, and they are always going to have very high or very small value as compared to rest of the data points. Okay. So we can consider them as an extreme values, but we have a technical name for these values, that is outliers. So just call them outliers rather than extreme values. Okay. No, Tejaswini, there is nothing as a combination of median and mode values. They are totally different terminologies. Median is the middle value, mode is the most awkward value. Mode and mode can be calculated for numeric and for categorical values like this, right? But mean and median can only be calculated for numeric values. How can you perform summation and all those operations on non-numeric data, right? We cannot perform. So mean and median will be calculated for numeric values, and mode can be calculated for both numeric and categorical data. Yeah, Saloni is saying like, can I explain mode in terms of numeric values? For example, here again we have considered age of participant. I'll consider age of participants over here. Okay, this is the age of participant. Now, which one is the value which have occurred maximum times over here? 27 have occurred maximum number of times. So what will be the mode of this data? 27 is going to be the mode of this data. So this is how for numeric values also it can identify the mode. Most occurred value is the mode. Okay. Categorical data, guys. Categorical data is like this. We have a categories over here, right? Good, poor, neutral. We don't have numbers over here. These are categories. So this is a categorical or discrete data basically. Yeah. So that's what we have seen right now. Measures of central tendency, which is also called as first moment business decision, in which we can calculate mean, median, and mode of the data to understand where the center of your data lies. Rahul is saying non-numeric data is categorical. Not like that, Rahul. Even numeric data can also be a categorical. What if I mention good as 0, poor as 1, and neutral as 2? So this is also categorical data, but this time it is numeric. Okay. Yeah. Fine. So that's all about today's session. We have Iftekhar. He wants to announce something. So
Yes, Moonmoon.
yes, over to you, Iftekhar.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, guys. I hope you had a great session for the evening. And remember, guys, we are here for next 40 hours. Now it's 38 hours. So you have to be very much attentive and plan all your weekdays, evenings for ExcelR solutions for this particular program, for this particular EDL program. Okay, so there was for today's session there were certain problems while for joining the session via your email ID, right? So first of all, very sorry for that thing. And for tomorrow's session, we are posting right now into your chat box. The Zoom link for tomorrow's session will be there in your chat box right now. So I request Mukesh to put the tomorrow's Zoom link to join right now in the chat boxes of YouTube as well as the Zoom. So what you do is right now itself you save this particular Zoom link, and tomorrow you can join via this Zoom link. Okay, so that is the first thing I wanted to clear out. Second thing, there are a couple of questions on YouTube also, so I will be taking up those questions also. But the second thing, what I want to say is, you guys must have got an email from ExcelR Solutions regarding LMS. So let me show you that email itself. Um, uh, and this will stop and announce. Yes. So let me share my screen. So this is my Gmail ID and a mail from ExcelR, like welcome to ExcelR. This mail you must have got. Your new ExcelR account has been created. Please use the following credentials to log into the platform. So this contains an email ID, which is your email ID, which you must have put in while registering into this particular program. And second is the password. So what to do with that password, I will tell you. There are certain steps like log into the elearning.excelr.com. So you have to click this particular link, elearning.excelr.com. So it's loading right now. Yeah. Before this page, I think you should get a page which is which will contain, which will expect you to put email ID and password. So right now I have done that. So I think I am not getting it. So let me sign in again. So this is that proper link, elearning.excelr.com. And first page will be your, you have to put email ID as well as the password. And the password for first time is this. You may reset your password later on, but this is the first time password you have to put. Okay, so I have done that and I am into this page right now. So here you have to put certain number of details like your name, your email ID, your phone number, select option like data science you have taken. So put your date of birth, maybe let me put anything right now. So this I am putting right now, and native city, town, maybe mine is Mumbai. So I'll have to go to Mumbai. We'll go to Mumbai directly. So you search, what you do is you search your city. Right now I have taken some city, current city, maybe some city I have taken, area in the city. So XYZ I will put, you put your proper details here. Then your academic qualification, maybe BE, BTech, mode of training is online, profession you select has to be working professional or fresher. So if you put working professional, another details come. So let me take fresher. How did you know about us? So this you can put the proper which via some FDP you have joined. So you can take FDP/SDP and then allow certain things. Okay, so submit. Branch I did not take, so I'll tell some branch. I think I am done. So now you have to submit. Profile setup is completed. Then please sign in to access the platform. So sign in. Yeah, I'll take all your doubts. Wait. Let me just complete the entire thing. Then I think there are a couple of doubts into the chat box also. So I'll take up those things. So once you have joined, you will be shown this kind of a dashboard, and that is what is written in the second step, guys. Click on dashboard. So you have logged into elearning.excelr.com. Click on dashboard. So there is something called as dashboard here. So if I click this board, I'll be taken to this thing. Today's session, 20th Jan 2022, 6 p.m. Everyday Learning ExcelR Virtual Data Science, 20th January 2022. So this is the program name, and this is that join button. So from now onwards, if you have LMS link, so if you have got this particular mail, then you have to register on this LMS and every day come on this platform, come to this dashboard thing and join. So this is today's session. Under today's session, you will find join button. Other things would be blank for you right now. These things will be blank for you right now, but tomorrow, but very soon you will be able to access our data science material. So there was a question, are we getting this PPT or not? So very soon you will be getting these PPTs also. You will be able to access data science material, and your trainer will definitely help you how to access your data science material once it is uploaded to your account. Okay, so in future you will get the PPTs also to view. Okay, so that was one question taken up regarding PPT. Then there was a question, are we getting certificates? Yes, you will be getting certificates. I think I should have to disable annotation of others. Okay, done. Yeah, so there was another question that are we getting certificates? Yes, you will be getting a participation certificate once the course is completed. But your attendance should be at least 85%. So very seriously take the attendance thing. So once an attendance sheet and this attendance link is shared to you, please click on that attendance link and every day do not forget to give your attendances. Okay, so I think this must be a compulsory thing from your college also, if you are a MOU college student, so that can also be done. Okay, let me take up some questions now. Sir, I have not received, I have registered but haven't got any credential mail. By today evening, by today night, you should get this mail, Kali. So you will get, everyone will get this mail link. So don't be into any stress that you are not getting. You will get that. Once you get, then you have to do these things. Sir, how many days of certificate is this? Sir Vaishnavi, this is not days of certificate. It is a course certificate. So you have attended 40 hours, then you will get a one course certificate. Did we have to give any exam for certification? No, you have to attend the entire uh, data science program for certification. Would there be any exam after 40 lectures? No. 40 hours of lecture? No, there will be no exam. I'm not a student working in Infosys. How to register? Same way, sir, you have to, there is a registration link and you have to register on that link and then you will get this mail and all those things. So if you have not yet got the registration link, I request Mukesh to put the registration link again. I hope Srinivasu, I have addressed your doubt. We will have assignments and all. So there will be assignments, guys. So assignments will also be shared to you soon. How much credit point in this course, sir? Somnath, I don't know. It depends upon your college, what they have. If they have kept any credit points to our program, then you must ask your college teacher. From our side, we do not have any credit points. I have registered but did not receive the mail. You will may receive. Sir, we will get assignments. Yes, you will get assignments. So tomorrow we join by Zoom link or dashboard. See, for tomorrow, uh, uh, both the things will. If you have joined via dashboard, then also you can reach to this particular uh, session. And Zoom link I have already given to you. So anyways, you can join, Jayesh. Are we getting more courses after this? Yes, we are. We have planned per month a course, Ismail. I think it's Ismail. Per month, a new course will be launched from us. So stay in touch with us. Tell your colleges to have MOUs with us, and we are there to help you with various courses. Sir, in that form, I am getting direct number, but what that is a wrong number. Which number? I don't know, Shah. We are getting videos of today. Yeah. So as I said, the skin, Naz, there will be recorded in this session, my live classes. You will find all the everyday lectures here. So if within 2 hours or some 15 hours it takes, I suppose, after 15 hours, there will be recorded videos available here in your my live classes. So trainer will definitely help you with this in future also. There is showing no zero course and no zero live classes for you, Adnan. One live class it should be there. You should have registered properly. Sir, I have created account on ma'am's advice and I have not received the credential mail. You will get a credential. Sir, in my laptop, but not able to see live class. Attendance link is there, Shoaib. I think a lot of valid questions I have taken up. It's already 2 minutes, almost 7:58. I think there are, guys, just tell me, I hope there are no doubts regarding the registration thing to the LMS also. Regarding mail, you will get a mail like this very soon. Can we log in to another email ID? See that the email ID which you have given while registering, only that email ID will be useful. Thank you, Nizam. I suppose, sir, I got mail, he says. My contact number is wrong. There is no option to edit number. It's fine. No issues, Shah. Go ahead with the registration. Aruba, thanks a lot. Thank you. Thank you, Aruba. Sir, will there be a problem if we register twice? If same ID, then no problem. Jazakallah. Thank you. Thank you, Muhammad. Thank you, Saima. So, thanks a lot, guys. I think we are done for the today's session. And be in touch with us. We'll be there to take up a few more courses after this course also, and stay with us for next 40 hours. Thank you. Thank you so much. Mukesh, shall we disconnect?
Yeah. So just one note over here, like your next session is going to be on Monday because Friday is my week off. So your next session will happening be on Monday.
Oh.
Same timing, 6 to 8. Okay, make a note of it, guys. Next session will be on Monday.
So some of you just went off before this. So I think 200 people left, ma'am, before you announce this. So
Okay.
please, guys, please tell your friends also that tomorrow there is no session, and we'll try to mail you also. So there will be a mail for this. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you all. Good night.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Bye. Take care.